I never believed in fate until that rainy afternoon in New York City, when the F train doors slid open and he stepped in, drenched but somehow radiating an effortless calm that made my heart skip. Our eyes locked for a split second, and in that crowded car, surrounded by the hum of strangers, I felt an inexplicable pull that left me utterly speechless. As he squeezed into the seat next to me, brushing my arm accidentally, I knew my ordinary commute was about to derail into something profound and terrifying. My name is Alex Rivera, a 28-year-old graphic designer living in Brooklyn, trying to make sense of life in a city that never slows down. I come out to my family 5 years ago, right after college, but the acceptance was lukewarm at best. My parents, conservative immigrants from Puerto Rico, nodded politely but never asked about my dating life. Work was my escape, a small ad agency where I buried myself in campaigns for brands that preached inclusivity while my own world felt anything but. That day, I just wrapped up a grueling meeting, my mind replaying the client's endless revisions, when the subway incident happened. He introduced himself as Jordan Hale, a 30-year-old teacher from Queens, with a smile that crinkled his eyes in the most disarming way. "Mind if I sit here? This rain is brutal," he said, his voice steady and warm, cutting through the train's rattle. I managed a nod, my usual chatterbox self silenced by the intensity of his presence. We started talking, or rather, he did, sharing how he was heading to a parent-teacher conference at his school. I learned he taught high school English, passionate about literature that challenged norms like Baldwin and Woolf. "Books saved me," he confessed, especially growing up in a town where being different meant being invisible. As the train lurched through tunnels, our conversation flowed effortlessly. I opened up about my designs, how I infused subtle queer themes into mainstream ads, fighting for visibility in subtle ways. Jordan listened intently, his knee occasionally bumping mine with the sway of the car, sending sparks I hadn't felt in years. By the time we reached my stop, he'd scribbled his number on a crumpled receipt. "Text me if you want to grab coffee," he said, his gaze holding mine a beat too long. I stepped off the platform, rain soaking me anew, but inside, a warmth spread that I couldn't ignore. That night, I stared at my phone, debating, was this just a fleeting connection, or the start of something real? The next week blurred into dates. First coffee in a cozy Williamsburg spot, then walks along the East River, sharing stories under the Manhattan skyline. Jordan was everything I hadn't realized I needed: thoughtful, funny, with a quiet strength that made me feel seen. But cracks appeared early. He mentioned his family casually, a sister in California, parents back in Ohio, but dodged details about his past. "Let's focus on now," he'd say with a wink, steering us to lighter topics. I pushed it aside, intoxicated by the chemistry. Our third date, at a dimly lit Italian place in the village, things deepened. Over pasta, he admitted he'd been in a long-term relationship that ended badly 2 years ago. He wanted kids, marriage, the whole package. "I wasn't ready," Jordan said, his fork pausing mid-air. I nodded, sharing my own fears, the societal pressure on gay men to either hide or overperform happiness in a world still debating our rights. We laughed about awkward coming-out stories, but beneath it, a tension simmered. That night, as we parted with a lingering hug, I felt the first twinge of doubt. Why the evasion? Work intruded soon after. My agency landed a big client, a national brand pushing LGBTQ+ inclusivity campaigns. I was thrilled, pouring hours into concepts that highlighted real stories, not stereotypes. Jordan supported me, texting encouragement during late nights. But when I invited him to a launch event, he hesitated. "Crowds aren't my thing," he said. I let it go, but it nagged. Then came the first real conflict. We were at my apartment, cooking dinner, when my phone buzzed with a news alert. Another state passing anti-LGBTQ legislation, restricting adoption for same-sex couples. I ranted about the hypocrisy, how progress felt like 2 steps forward, 1 back. Jordan grew quiet, stirring the sauce absently. "Not everything's a battle, Alex," he murmured. "Sometimes you just live your life." His words stung. Did he not care? We argued, voices rising. He accused me of being too activist. I called him complacent. We made up with apologies, but the rift lingered. As weeks turned to months, our bond strengthened despite the friction. Jordan opened up more. His ex was a prominent lawyer, and their breakup involved public scrutiny because the ex's family was politically connected. "I hate drama," he said one evening in Central Park, our hands intertwined. I understood. My own family gatherings were minefields of unspoken judgments. But society intruded. Friends warned me Jordan seemed guarded. One even joked he might be straight-passing for a reason. I dismissed it, but doubt seeded. The turning point came at a Pride event. I convinced Jordan to join a low-key march in Brooklyn. Amid rainbow flags and chants, he tensed. "This feels exposed," he admitted. I pushed back. "Isn't that the point? Visibility?" We clashed again, him arguing for personal privacy, me for collective fight. That night, he revealed more. His school was in a conservative district, and being openly gay could risk his job. "I love teaching, Alex. I can't lose that." My heart ached. His fear was valid, but it highlighted our divide. Was love enough to bridge it? Summer faded into fall, and our relationship evolved into something steady yet fraught. We spent weekends exploring hidden gems. Bookstores in the Bronx, hikes upstate. Jordan's passion for poetry infected me. I'd find myself quoting lines during designs, infusing work with deeper meaning. But external pressures mounted. My parents visited, and I introduced Jordan as a friend. Their polite smiles masked discomfort. Later, Mom whispered, "He's nice, but think about the future." It echoed societal whispers. Gay relationships as temporary, not foundational. At work, the campaign launched successfully, but backlash hit. Online trolls targeted our ads, claiming they pushed agendas on families. I vented to Jordan, expecting solidarity. Instead, he suggested toning it down. "Provocation invites hate," he said. We debated fiercely. I saw it as necessary resistance, he as risky. "I've seen friends lose everything over this," he confided, eyes distant. His story unfolded. In college, a protest led to his outing, straining family ties. They still call it a phase. Empathy warred with frustration. Why hide when others fought? A controversial twist emerged when Jordan's ex resurfaced. A mutual friend mentioned seeing them together at a fundraiser. Jealousy flared, but Jordan explained, "It was professional. He's on a board for education reform." Skeptical, I dug online, discovered the ex, Marcus, was advocating for LGBTQ+ rights in courts, openly married now to another man. Why had Jordan left that? He wanted the spotlight. I wanted normalcy, Jordan admitted during a tense dinner. But it sparked arguments. Was normalcy code for assimilation, erasing our struggles? Society's conflicts amplified ours. News of a gay teacher fired in Florida mirrored Jordan's fears. He grew withdrawn, canceling plans. "What if us being together outs me?" he asked one night, pacing my living room. I reassured him, but inside, resentment built. Was I sacrificing my authenticity for his comfort? Friends divided. Some said compromise was love, others called it enabling closet life. High drama peaked at Thanksgiving. I invited Jordan to my family's, pushing for honesty. He agreed reluctantly. The dinner was awkward. Dad's pointed questions about settling down. Mom's side glances. When Jordan excused himself early, I followed. "I can't pretend," he whispered in the hallway. We fought in hushed tones. Him accusing me of forcing exposure, me of cowardice. Driving home silent, I wondered if love could survive such divides. Yet moments of tenderness pulled us back. A quiet evening watching old films, his head on my shoulder, reminded me why I fell. He shared dreams. Writing a book on queer literature for teens, helping kids like his younger self. "But safely," he added. I nodded, but the qualifier chafed. As winter approached, we navigated holidays carefully. His family via video, mine with omissions. The strain showed. Small disagreements escalated. The pivotal incident involved a school event. Jordan invited me to a student play he directed, based on queer themes subtly woven in. Proud, I attended, but afterward, a parent confronted him. This content is inappropriate. Jordan deflected calmly, but later confessed fear of complaints. See why I hesitate, he said. I argued for standing firm, citing historical fights. Our views clashed again. Progressive action versus cautious survival. By New Year's, we'd hit a plateau. Celebrating in Times Square. Amid cheers, he kissed me publicly for the first time. Thrilling but fleeting. Back home, he admitted, that scared me. Vulnerability bonded us, but questions loomed. Could we align our worlds? Winter's chill mirrored the cooling in our relationship, though passion flickered in unexpected ways. Jordan started therapy, encouraged by me to unpack his fears. Sessions unearthed childhood traumas. Bullying in Ohio, a father who valued conformity. He'd say, be a man, meaning straight. Jordan shared over coffee, voice cracking. I held his hand, empathy surging, but it highlighted my privilege. My family's reluctant acceptance felt luxurious compared. Work brought its own storms. My agency faced a lawsuit from a conservative group claiming our campaigns discriminated against traditional values. Protests outside our office turned ugly, with slurs hurled. I marched in counter-protests, adrenaline-fueled. Jordan worried, you're putting a target on your back. We argued, him prioritizing safety, me defiance. Hiding lets them win, I countered. His response, surviving is winning too. The debate exposed a core rift. Activism as empowerment versus risk. A contentious plot twist arose when Marcus, the ex, contacted Jordan. He needs advice on a case involving gay educators, Jordan explained. Suspicious, I pressed. Why you? It led to revelations. Their breakup stemmed from Marcus's push for public life, including media interviews on marriage equality. Jordan balked, fearing career fallout. I chose stability, he said. But now, with me, was he repeating patterns? Society's debates fueled ours. Supreme Court rumblings on LGBTQ plus rights made headlines. We watched news together, tensions rising. Jordan favored quiet advocacy, like mentoring students privately. I volunteered at rallies, dragging him once. He left early, overwhelmed. This isn't me, he said. Hurt, I accused him of apathy. Reconciliation came with apologies, but scars remained. Family pressures intensified. My sister, supportive, visited and met Jordan. He's great, but does he make you happy long-term? She asked. Doubt crept in. Meanwhile, Jordan's parents planned a visit. Panicked, he suggested I stay away. They're not ready. Offended, I refused. Then when? The fight escalated. Accusations of shame versus impatience. We took a break, days of silence agonizing. Reunion happened dramatically. Jordan showed at my door, flowers in hand. I told them about you. Stunned, I listened as he described the call. Awkward but honest. Dad was quiet. Mom asked questions. Progress but tentative. We celebrated, but I sensed his unease. As spring hinted, a school scandal erupted. A colleague outed for being gay faced harassment. Jordan supported him quietly, but when I suggested public solidarity, he resisted. It could backfire. Frustrated, I organized a petition anonymously. He discovered it, furious. You're dragging me in. The clash peaked, trust eroded. Yet, love persisted. A weekend getaway to the Catskills rekindled intimacy. Hiking trails, we discussed futures. Kids, marriage. Jordan warmed to ideas, but caveats abounded. If society changes. Optimistic, I pushed. We change it. The weekend ended hopeful, but reality awaited. Spring bloomed, but our relationship weathered storms. Jordan's school faced budget cuts, targeting controversial programs like his literature club exploring diverse authors. He fought internally, rallying colleagues. Inspired, I offered help, designing flyers for a fundraiser. Working together bridged gaps. His caution tempered my zeal. But external conflicts surged. A viral video of anti-gay protesters clashing with pride marchers hit close. Friends were involved, one hospitalized. I attended vigils urging Jordan. He came reluctantly, but left shaken. Violence solves nothing, he said. We debated passive resistance versus active protest. Historical parallels, Stonewall, AIDS crisis, fueled arguments. Those who fought weren't hiding, I said. He countered, many did, to survive and support from shadows. A dramatic revelation shook us. Digging into Marcus's case, Jordan uncovered documents showing his own school district had discriminatory policies buried in fine print. Outraged, he confided in me. I could challenge this. Excited, I encouraged action. But fear held him. Anonymous tip? We weighed ethics, personal risk versus greater good. The decision divided us. I favored exposure, he deliberation. Family dynamics evolved. My parents invited us for dinner, a step forward. Jordan charmed them, discussing books with Dad. But subtle barbs, when will you settle? Implied heteronormative expectations. Later, Jordan vented, they see us as less. Empathy turned to alliance. We bonded over shared frustrations. Summer approached with a controversial opportunity. My agency pitched a national pride campaign, seeking real stories. I suggested Jordan's teacher navigating identity. He balked. Too exposed. Hurt. I pushed. Your story could help others. The fight was raw. Accusations of exploitation versus selfishness. We separated briefly, reflecting. Reconciliation brought growth. Jordan agreed to contribute anonymously. The campaign succeeded, sparking debates online. Empowerment or invasion, echoing our struggles. But climax built. Jordan's parents visited unexpectedly. Over dinner, tensions exploded. Dad questioned our lifestyle, igniting defense. Jordan stood firm. It's who I am. Proud, I supported. But fallout, they left early, strained. Post-visit, Jordan spiraled. Was it worth it? We argued ultimate costs of authenticity. Society's mirror. Laws advancing in some states, regressing others. As summer waned, our bond tested ultimate limits. Jordan pursued the district policy challenge, filing anonymously. Backlash rippled, rumors at school, scrutiny. He confided fears daily. I bolstered him, but strain showed. Nights of doubt. Did I ruin everything? A pivotal confrontation arose at a community forum on education reform. Jordan spoke publicly for the first time, advocating inclusivity without outing himself fully. I watched, heart swelling. But a heckler shouted slurs, escalating to chaos. Security intervened. We escaped shaken. See the hate, Jordan whispered. I nodded, but affirmed. And the support. The incident sparked media buzz. Jordan's name surfaced peripherally, inviting scrutiny. Colleagues divided. Some praised bravery, others distanced. Home life fractured, calls from parents urging retreat. Think of your job, Dad said. Jordan wavered, our talks intense. Sacrifice for change versus self-preservation. In a twist, Marcus offered legal aid. Meeting him, jealousy faded. He was genuine, sharing regrets. I pushed too hard, he told Jordan. Insights healed old wounds but highlighted my role. Was I pushing similarly? Climax hit when Jordan's principal summoned him. A complaint alleged agenda pushing. Facing potential dismissal, he broke down. I should have stayed silent. I comforted, but guilt gnawed. My influence? We debated ethics, individual versus communal duty. Friends' opinions varied, fueling internal conflict. Resolution came gradually. With Marcus's help, Jordan navigated the inquiry, emerging cleared but cautioned. The experience transformed him, more open yet wary. Our relationship deepened, compromises forged. We attended therapy together, balancing views. Fall returned, circling back to that train meeting. Reflecting, I realized growth. From speechless stranger to partners in complexity. But was forcing visibility on someone, even for love and progress, truly right?